Everybody, welcome to another episode of Fourever Rivals. How are you, everyone? How are you going? What a week, mate. I've been waiting for tomorrow night for that long, man. I might go there straight after the show, mate, and just wait at the gate, mate. That's how excited I am about it. Welcome to everyone. Now, before we start, a couple of things. Did you notice the tune was a bit different there? Did you just notice there? Did you like it? It's
subtle. It's subtle.
No, it's good, mate.
It's
it gives it a bit
gangster,
of
bit gangster style, isn't it?
Well, I'll tell everyone what happened. YouTube decided to copyright the song after 2 years now. So last week the song got copyrighted. So I actually had to change it, put some shitty song in there, or else so who knows? And so this week I thought I'll change it. But while we're here, we might as well just, the elephant in the room, and I don't mean Manny, the elephant in the room, right? Let's everyone welcome Liam. Is it Maha? What is it?
It is Liam Ma. That is me.
Liam Ma. Oh, it's like what's his name? The commentator.
Yeah, Andy Ma. Yeah, same name.
Andy Ma. Yes, it is too.
Yeah.
So everyone welcome. Everyone say welcome to Liam. He's going to be the Richmond loser all year. He's come in. He's decided. Talk about jumping into the Tiger den. He's jumped into the Fourever Rivals den. So welcome, mate. Welcome.
Thank you, lads. Thank you for having me. Excited to go. I know it's not going to be our best season, but I'm looking at the positives. No,
it's good, man. I'm glad you came, mate. As Scotty already, he's one of our favourites. I hope Scotty jumps on a bit later, but welcome, Lee, and hope you're all lubed up, mate. So he's ready to go for it. Tell us give us a quick just about yourself, mate. Where you're from, you know what I mean? Tiger supporter. Just let us know so we get stuck into it.
Obviously, I do support Richmond, but I grew up in WA. I've lived here forever, here right now as well. I'm 27, so I think I'm a bit younger than these lads. So there you go. Look, I'm still studying. I'm really into my sport, so that's why I'm studying a sport management degree. Doing a bit of part-time work, got to get the funds going. A little bit of YouTube in the past, but when it comes to footy, that's my true love. So jumping on a podcast with the lads representing my team, pretty good fun.
Love it. You speak well. We've been saying before you got a little bit of an accent there, so we were picking something. So you're telling us your parents.
We'll see what says about that. Yeah.
Your parents are, where'd you say, from England, is it?
Yeah, one's from England, one's from Ireland.
So you definitely picked up a little bit of an accent there. I like it. It gives the show a bit of class here, man. We'll get the Poms over.
Someone's asked what suburb. Oh, not a rocker.
I'm
in Wanneroo, so north of the river.
Oh, there you go. We've got a couple. We've got Rocco Moro. He's from Perth. There you go. He asked a question. He's from Perth.
Yeah, not sure what suburb you're from, but north of the river all the way.
He'll let you know. So, first of all, quickly, before we go on, always thanks, Lone Wolf and $5. Thank you very much. Hey, all, what a week. We had a season preview of what we're going to see from the Manny side. What a fucking disaster. Absolute junk. The season proper tomorrow. How good is it? Yes.
I'm from Maui.
Wait a sec. Wait a sec. Let's go.
Is the epitome of a Collingwood. Go to Pines! Come on!
Yeah. Come on.
I'm from Maui! I'm from Maui!
That's how it was. But while we're talking about Maui, here we go. Magpie Manny, how are you, mate?
Good evening to everyone. Welcome, Liam. I wish you all the best, mate.
Thank you.
The Tigers. I'm not going to say too much at the moment, but geez, you're gutsy to come into in amongst these three ugly-looking people, mate. They're vultures. They're going to, if your team doesn't do well, I can tell you right now, mate, we're going to eat you up. Souvlaki, pasta.
We haven't lost a game this season yet, unlike your team, but...
Yeah. But good luck, mate. Welcome and good luck.
That's it, mate.
Good evening to everybody out there. It's actually raining outside. Be normal, mate.
It just started raining. I just closed the windows. Marco, how are you, mate? How's things?
Yeah, good evening.
Himself.
Yeah. Good evening, fellas, and welcome, Liam, mate. I think you'll be fine this year, mate. You've got really no worries, mate.
No expectations.
If anything, whoever plays against Richmond, they're the teams that are going to be under pressure. So, welcome, mate. And it does look like there's a few storms coming across. Is it Arthur's brother or something? Is it Cyclone Arthur's brother or something that's coming to Melbourne? I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know. While we're here, let's just say hi to a few. Everyone's saying welcome. We've got Peter, Bubblehead Blue. Mate, he's a great supporter. We got Enzo Valentino. Both of them were at the show. They were both at the show. It was a big success, mate. We got Rocco Moro, who I said, we got our favourite Greek, Matula. How are you, Matula? Look, everyone's welcoming you. They loved Quinny, so I'm sure they're going to love you, man. As you said, we got Scotty. Rat Poison is in the house. Gutsy stuff, Liam, mate. I'm telling you, you're already setting a standard. Everyone, we got Frank. Frank's a Collingwood. Is Frank a Collingwood supporter, or is that someone else? I know there's one Frank that's a Collingwood supporter, but I don't want to offend you. Let me know. Michelle, she's back. Look, we're going to get some banter here. Lou, how are you, mate? Mate, these are such. Oh, we got Joshua. Is he a temporary? No. Unless he can't handle the heat, he's not a temporary one. He's coming in, mate. He's coming in for good, yeah. Look who we got here. Our friend all the way from Bangkok, Joseph Lutzer. He's part of this Blue Sunday, so he's there. We got Mark Ucci. Mate, he was there on Sunday. Who else we got? Chicho Dan. Manny looking okay considering a disaster on Sunday, mate. We had such a ball. Sunday was such a good show for us. And before the show, there was 70 Carlton supporters watching Collingwood get reamed. Did that make the evening so pleasurable? I'm telling you. Actually, I've got some vision for you soon, Manny. I've got some vision for you. We got we found that his name's Alexandro. Question for Manny: do you plan to go past Icon Park in Brunswick on your way to the MCG at this point of the season? He doesn't even know. Well, Liam's going to be. He's not going to understand some of these jokes, but Manny doesn't.
Location based.
Take him a while.
Make sure you hammer these blokes. Seba, he's always. I hope he gets on later. He's got a few questions when you get a chance. That's it. So everyone. Evening, gents. Joshua. All right. So what we're going to do is I'm going to start. Let's just quickly start. On Sunday was a big success for us, and I got a bit of a. Here you go. I got a bit of a collage here of photos, mate. It was a massive event. We had this. This is Carlton, man. We had like heaps of people there, man. Food was great. The show was great, man. It went until like late at night, man. So everyone that came, and there's a lot of you that are in the chat there, man. Thank you very much. It was a massive, and as you can see, man, it was a beautiful day. It was like 38 degrees during the day, but it did cool down. And the venue, open factory. I'm telling you, what a place, man. So that was really good, man. We enjoyed it. But on Saturday night, man, I was busy weekend. On Saturday night, went out down to the George. I got to meet DJ Bliss, biggest DJ world, the star of Dubai Bling on Netflix. Everyone, So I got to catch up with him, and guess what? Let's have a look.
Wait! I need to video this. Right? This is going viral, mate. This is going viral. I'm going to zoom out. Ready? Say, go the Blues. 1, 2. Go the Blues. Your team. Let's go.
Let me explain. I knew it was going to be like this. I knew it was going to be like 50-50. However, the reason why I'm here in Melbourne, my brother Richard, all right, my big brother brought me over here, and shout out to Annette. He's the voice of the Blues, so hey, shout out the Blues, let's go!
That was a big night. It was a good night, mate, at the George, man. We got that pumping, so I got to meet, thanks to Rash, my mate. It's a good friend of his, got us VIP, got introduced to him. We had a fun. He's a top bloke, so had a big weekend, mate. We had a massive weekend. So yeah, so that was a bit, and everyone that came along to the show, thanks for coming, man. And there'll be another one, and yeah, and also watch out our sponsors, the Sporting Globe. Thanks for them jumping on board this year. Yeah, and round 5, first interstate game against the Weagles over there, and yeah, we'll be having a private room at the Sporting Globe where all the Blue supporters can come and watch the game, and we're going to put up a big event, so all the interstate games for everyone to come and watch. Only Blue supporters, so none of you can come, and yeah, so that's going to be good. So thanks to the Sporting Globe for jumping aboard and partnering with the Jumper Punch. How good is that? Fuck, I had to get through a lot of things there. How are we going? Rocco, yes, Rocco is the new Mr. VIP. Exactly, mate. That's what a VIP is, Manny, not what you think a VIP is. Oh, yeah. And then that's it. All right. All right, we're looking at that. All right, I think it's time we talk some footy. What do you reckon, guys?
I think so.
Good idea.
All right, the first thing I want to talk about, guys, and this came up just yesterday. Well, before I do that, have we got any thoughts on round 0? Was it a success? Was it a success, guys? Was it a success? You can start, Liam. Go for it. What do you reckon about round 0?
No, not a fan. Not a fan. Even God cancelled some of those games in Brisbane. That's how much of an idea he thinks it is. Look, I don't see the need for it. Why do you have half the team starting a week earlier and then you've got buys later? Like, I think like some teams play one game and then they've got a buy in round 2. That doesn't make sense. It creates an unfair advantage.
And then the rest of the teams get a buy in, like, even before the season starts. I can't comprehend that. You get a buy before the season starts. How? Marco?
It's about business.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Business, isn't it?
I mean, yeah, sorry, Manny, but I think we need to get rid of 0 round. Now, just an opinion. I'm not quite sure if I should get to my latest result on this, but the postponed games with obviously Brisbane and the Gold Coast, were they able to still fly from Brisbane to say Melbourne? Just a quick question to you guys. Was the flights cancelled at all?
I like where you're going here, Marco. You're thinking. I like where you're going. Yeah. So you're trying to say, could they have flown over and had the matches down here or something? Yeah.
Correct, but I'm not going to go into that conversation unless that is proven that flights were still able to be responded to, say Melbourne. But I think they postponed it early Monday or Tuesday morning that they cancelled those games. So if there were flights available to travel to Melbourne, why couldn't the Gold Coast Football Club travel to Melbourne on a Saturday? I'm not going to say Monday because it's a public holiday. But on a Saturday, played at Marvel, you would have got 45,000 supporters out there. And then we play Gold Coast in round 16, which is our home game, but we could have just transferred that to the Gold Coast. What is so hard about that? Why do Essendon Gold Coast need to play now in round 24 after we play Carlton on round 24? It's just simple maths.
Scotty makes a point here. The were more concerned about their families. Even I think it was Zorko, or was it Neil, who said he wouldn't have played even if they were playing.
First of all, Mark, you're talking about getting two teams that were going to play at a ground, right? And I can tell you right now, there's no way you get 40,000 because you guys struggle to get 20,000. But just let's say 40,000, right? Let's say that first game of the season, people are excited. The preparation behind it, the catering, being able to get the ground set up to do all that, mate. That's it takes them 12 months just to organize.
The games were postponed on the Monday or Tuesday the week before. They've got 5-6 days to prepare, mate. What do you think a game of football starts in 1 week's time?
Not enough time. You got to get the catering companies. The catering companies involved. You got to make sure you got food for them. You got to make sure you get security. You got to make sure you got the coppers involved. Right. You got to make sure you got staff. But this is a multi-million-dollar business, mate. Doesn't happen overnight.
Come on, mate. I didn't say it happened overnight. The games were postponed on the Monday afternoon. They had 6 days to prepare to at least get the players over to at least Melbourne. I mean, I understand everyone saying now that they wanted to stay home and protect their homes and their family. Look, and I'm 100% for that. I'm 100% for that. So let's just disregard what my concept was. I'm just trying to say that if the players wanted to travel back to Melbourne and play a game of football on a Saturday afternoon at Marvel Stadium, you'll get 45,000, mate, not 20, mate. You'll get 45,000 Essendon supporters there. So don't know where it's going. You guys will shut down. But anyway, you're back.
Hey, listen, man. I don't know if this is true, but
get the players out, and then.
I heard that Manny follows Abby Chatfield. Look, I don't know if that's true, but then Scotty came up with this, and everyone noticed Manny slims down, and now Abby Holmes is pregnant. Oh, I didn't notice that. Is that why she wears that big suit? Like, I was wondering, why is her suit so big? Oh, is she pregnant? Yes, everyone say hi to Slobbo. He's one of our greats. Hey, Liam, you heard of Slobbo? He has. Have you heard of Slobbo?
I have now.
You have
now. A bit more, but...
I don't know, man. Yeah, you're probably right. They could have moved it instead of moving it over to round. I think someone else said it here. The real question is moving that game after round 24. I hate Essendon, and I hope they fail miserably. But that is a bit of a kick in the guts, that, man. What's that all about, man? Like, seriously, after the game, and I think you'll be playing the same team like twice in 1 week, won't you?
Yeah. So again, if Essendon have cemented their final spot after, say, round 24 against Carlton, which we probably will be cementing our spot, then the game against Gold Coast will probably rest 15 players, 16 players. So it's a waste of bloody time.
Cemented what?
Cemented our spot in the 8, mate. We'll cement our spot in the 8. After we beat Carlton round 24 of this year, we'll cement our spot in the 8. And the game against Gold Coast will be a fucking dead rubber because most of our players won't be playing because all your other bozos will be getting a week's rest before the final start. Absolute joke, AFL. Absolute joke.
That could ruin your whole season, Marco. You'll be fighting for top 2, and then you have to play an extra game at the end.
I know.
That's right, Marco. We've got to play an extra game. Those players won't be playing, mate. So it might come down to if Gold Coast have to win to kick Carlton out, Essendon are going to go, don't worry about it, mate. We'll rest 22 players, and Gold Coast will beat Essendon and kick Carlton out of the finals.
Maybe. I think I'll go back to the question that Seba asked you. You haven't made finals in 20 years. What makes you think you're going to make them this year?
Well, that's a harsh question, but you haven't won a flag.
All right, let's keep moving. Let's keep moving because I did want to get onto the Bubba. Let's get onto the Bubba here. this came out yesterday. Elijah Hollands takes indefinite leave. We know when they say Elijah Hollands or any player takes indefinite leave, and they don't say it's a family member or anything like that. We all know what it means, so we're not silly. He addressed the team, so, and it can't be something in the family, because then his brother wouldn't be playing. You know what I mean? His brother's playing, so it's without speculating, we all kind of know where this is going. But my question isn't that about him not playing. It's his second thing. So it's his second time he's been either busted or whatever they're doing. I heard that they've told him to take the leave, so he might not get suspended, but you're definitely going to take a leave. My question is the AFL, right, and the clubs doing enough to support these people? Because, mate, these kids they're kids, mate. They're 22-year-old. And if people don't think that this is not happening all over Australia with normal kids, right? You should know, Liam. With normal kids, mate, you go to school, I bet you half the people at school bloody, like, I know you go to uni, not, like, don't get me wrong, everyone, he doesn't go to primary school, like, he's older than that. But this is an issue, right? Is the AFL doing enough to help out these people? And after you have your say, I want to say something else about the doctors, but go ahead. Anyone?
Yeah. Like I said before, it's different because these players, they're held to such a higher level than anyone else. Like you said, there's people our age that do this stuff, but because they're under the microscope, they get pinpointed with it. The one good thing that I will say about it is that if he has come forward to the club and said, look, I do have a bit of a problem, I do need a bit of help, maybe that's good. As far as the strikes, I don't know if the AFL is going to come out and say there's another strike or something. We know he's definitely got one, I'm pretty sure.
He's got one, and that when he came to Carlton, he didn't play for the first 1 or 2 games because of that.
He did, yeah.
So he's definitely got a strike. Right? And guys,
you know, the problem, you know, we like to sit there and we want to blame the AFL, right? At the end of the day, you can't blame the AFL. You've got to blame the club that decides to take on these young players, right? It's all about nurturing these players. Now, unfortunately, you know, they get caught up in this, the fame. They get caught up in the glory. You know, they do some silly things. Collingwood players have done some silly things. In this case here, Elijah seems to have done something silly. But the issue here is, how do we fix the problem? It's very hard to fix the problem because, unfortunately, you know, we sit there saying, what's the AFL doing? It's all about what is the club going to do about it. Now, you know, they might turn around and say to Elijah, you know what, come back after 6 months or come back after 10 weeks after you've sorted yourself out. And this is where the mistakes happen. This is where the club needs to say, you know what, we have got a problem here. Let's try and help this kid. You know, it's about nurturing them. And unfortunately, it all depends on how well the club decides to put in the time and the effort. Because at the end of the day, when you think about it, is a player who's contracted and, okay, they're going to turn around and say, you know what, you fucked up. You've done the wrong thing. See you later. Well, that's the wrong thing to do. Because at the end of the day, it's all about you want to nurture him because you've decided to take him on board because he's a good player, right? And they're going to make mistakes. They're going to make mistakes. You know, it's young players, superstars, bit of fame, bit of glory, and then you know that's all it is. So it's about the clubs individually, and of course then having the support from the AFL to say, you know what, we've got money set aside to be able to help the clubs to deal with these kind of situations. You know.
All right, cool. And I just want to add to that, right, Justin. Take it easy, mate. If you want to come on later and talk to me, I'll have a chat to you every day. It's not because it's that player. It's not because it's our player. Trust me, you don't know me. I didn't put him up because, and I'm not defending him. But if you think that a 22-year-old isn't a kid, there is something wrong with you guys. You've forgotten when you were 22 years old, mate. The dumb things that we did when we were 22 years old, mate. We haven't got the scrutiny. Mate, these kids are tossed into the limelight, right? People look at them as heroes, as their idols. These poor kids, all they want to do is play football. We have to look after them, mate. We have to look after them for fucking a long time, forever. 22 is not it might be an adult, but you're not ready, mate. At 22, man, I didn't know anything, mate. If you're acting now like a 22-year-old, no one knows how it's like to get into that sort of situation where you become such a star, a limelight, and they give you all that money and you don't know what to do with it. Like, what is wrong with you? The other thing is, I said about the AFL, and they're going, oh, now it's it. No, I'm saying, do you know that once they get their first strike, you say that it's the club's fault, right, Manny? You know the club doesn't know about their strikes. They don't tell them, right? So what happens is they get a strike, they know nothing about it, and they only know about it after the second strike, right? My thing is, I understand the privacy of a doctor, the confidentiality between a doctor and a patient. But is there a case where you go, listen, if you get caught, the club should know about it, because how are they supposed to help if they don't know about it? Yeah?
Well,
Marco?
can I say, Rocco, that you're right, and being 22 is you're still a young lad, but can I say full credit to him for having the guts?
Yeah, it's a tough.
So you know what, I've got a problem here. All right, whether I like it or not, I've got a problem here. How do we fix it? And at the end of the day, put football aside. Right, put football aside. Try and set up.
That's exactly right.
You can help this kid. Help this kid.
Right. And Rat Poison, we love you, but no, Rocco, you've got to be responsible yourself. Tell me something, right? If that was your kid at 22, would you toss them aside? You know what I mean? These kids need help, and especially being AFL footballers, mate. Once you joined the AFL, mate, I'm a little bit involved with the fifth quarter about helping past players and that, mate. I'm in the belief, mate. Once you join the system, mate, you should be getting help for like ever. You should be getting help forever. What are you laughing at? You think I'm joking here?
No. I think someone's put a comment that and Mark is Jack Nicholson from Wish. I'm not quite sure who that is, but anyway,
I don't know.
Marty.
Maybe. I know. He's from from that movie. All right. And then he reckons they shouldn't be tested for why? Why? I think they should be tested. Like you get tested at work. We get tested, Manny, don't we?
Yep.
You get a warning?
Everyone gets tested for work, man. I'm sure, man, everyone should be held to the same value. But unfortunately, yeah.
Do you boys get a warning? If you guys get tested positive at work, do you get a warning? Nah. Well, there you go.
The only warning we get is careful you don't hurt yourself while you're walking out the door.
Yeah.
That's the only warning we get.
And that's another question. Should they get warnings? Should they be one strike out? I think people deserve chances. I think people deserve chances, Mark. We're human, mate. Things happen. They're kids, mate. Like you can say whatever you want. 22 isn't that old and that. Wait till you get to 52, 54, and then remember back when you were 22. What? Yeah. If I didn't have my chances when I was 22, man, I'd be in trouble now. So to me,
yeah. Well, I wasn't getting paid $400,000 a year to worry about that too much.
I understand, and they do, but I say this: they do get paid a lot of money, but they also get scrutinized a lot, right? Yeah. You get paid a lot of money, but it's not a normal life, Mark. And it's like, for example, you know what I do for a living, right? And people always say, I'm not going to say, but people always go, oh, you do all right, you do all right, you do all right, Mate, I'll tell you one thing, I earn my money, right? Because what people don't see is the overtime and working in the middle of the night and working on public holidays and missing out on Christmas and doing that. Yeah, and they're the same. So they deserve to get paid. And the AFL make a lot of money, mate. They deserve to be paid for it. You know what I mean? But again, what, do we just chuck them out after one mistake, Mark?
No, certainly not. No, I'm not referring to that. I just think that, if you've been caught, I'm not quite sure what the young fellow's been accused of. It's just personal leave. So there's no real speculation of what he's been on personal leave about. But I think we all know what it is. So,
history,
so at the end of the day, if he's been caught
shows.
using drugs, you fine him. You don't fine him, sorry. You suspend him for 12 months. Make him learn. Don't give him, what's his fucking warning bullshit? What warning? What's a warning? He's a 22-year-old kid, yes, but it can influence the younger kids out there, that want to play football, So you got to punish him while you can now. Don't wait until the second or third warnings. It could be something mentally that's gone wrong with some players where they need help, yes, but you need to suspend them for at least 12 months. And make them aware how lucky they are to play AFL football, mate. Because I would love to play AFL football, mate.
What about Scotty's got a question for you. What about performance-enhancing drugs, Mark? You reckon they should
performance-enhancing drugs, Scotty? There was no Essendon player that was proven guilty of taking it. So don't start with that shit. And to be honest with you, mate, since all this has happened, not one Essendon player, since this speculation of this drug saga, have been accused of taking drugs, fighting, discriminating women, whatever the case may be. We've been pretty clean since this saga. You look at a lot of clubs, Richmond, Walter, abusing people, fighting, Collingwood, all these drugs, now Carlton with all these drugs. They're proven to be drug cheats or illicit or whatever the case may be.
You can't say Carlton with all these drugs. We got one player.
There's a lot of issues in Carlton.
You had a whole organisation, Mark. I guarantee that Bubba Hollands is not being talked about in America. But when your saga happened, it went around the world as the biggest drug cheat saga around the world.
Innocent until proven guilty, mate. Not one player was proven guilty. That's a fact.
You're the guiltiest people I've seen, mate. I reckon I've seen Ted Bundy less guilty than what your team was. Hey, I want to hear from Liam, because Liam's a young man. What do you reckon about this and about being a young person, and do you get a chance, and how bad is like the drug kind of problem, in your kind of age? Don't go dobbing anyone in, but you know what I mean.
No, we won't be doing that. Nah, it is a problem. It's larger than just the football world. It's a society thing. I think the biggest thing now is it's kind of so accessible, and there's so many ways to do it. Like, and people think that it's cool, and part of it is like what some of you alluded to is like they see these people do it, and they're like, well, if he's doing it, I'm going to do it. And that's why it's hard. And that's why I kind of get a bit frustrated with some of these AFL guys, because it's like, you've got the chance of a lifetime. Like, I'd love to be in the league playing, but I wasn't good enough. I couldn't get there. But then I see the guys that get there and do these sort of things. And it's like, that's kind of frustrating, because you've got the chance that we all want. Correct. But look, yeah, I mean, it would be pretty hard if, it's like, look, you've done it once and that's it, game over. But so I do think, give him a warning, and in Holland's case, we have got give him a bit of credit. He has come forward and said, look, I am having a bit of problem, I do need a bit of help, and I respect that. But yeah, it is up to you now. It's up to the help of the club. Let's get some help. Let's figure this out. Yeah, it's not something you can just snap your fingers and be like, yep, it's an easy fix overnight. It's a big problem. It's society wide. And I don't know.
And it's good. And you're right. And it's pretty simple. Drugs are running rampant in our age bracket, and Seb is another one who's your age, so you kind of see it when you go out. Hey, I'll tell you one thing. Like, I don't go out a lot, but I go out a little bit. I still go to clubs, not like you old people there, but I still go out every once in a while. I like to have a dance. But I'm telling you, mate, the one thing I noticed when you get there now, like, I've been to Billboards. I know the owner of Billboards, so we go there for some things and that, right? What I noticed there is they come up to your face, mate. and they're selling you stuff right there inside the club. Like, just they'll come up to you. You want it, and that's it. I'd never seen that before. Like, it's fun. So
yeah,
how are kids
that's
supposed
what
to
I
be
mean.
protected, mate? And you'd probably kind of see that too, Liam.
Because it's like, that's what I mean. It's so accessible now. Like, even like, I was like 15, 16 at a music festival or something. You have, I even had people coming up and asking me for stuff. I was like, I don't do that, you know. And again, that's part of the thing, you know. Nah, it's you know, as a young person, and that's the other thing. We get educated all the way through school now. It's like the kids that smoke my age. It's like, you've literally been told all this stuff about how smoking kills you, but you still choose to do it. It doesn't make sense to me. So that's where it's kind of like, if they need more education about it, I don't know. But yeah, it's definitely something for me when I see these people do it. It's like, you know what's going to happen, and it's not going to end well. So I don't know. Why do it?
And look, and that's a question for each individual, you know what I mean? Why do they do it? I mean, you go through pressures, as you said, it's easy, accessible. You know, there's all sorts of reasons why they do it. And as I said, I feel for young kids, and someone said about, I wonder if the same people were backing Hagel, whatever the fuck his name is, right? Well, when I heard about that, like, he's an opposition player, so stuff him. But at the end of the day, he's a young kid, man. I felt sorry for him. You know what I mean? Like, the pressures these kids are under, I don't think we can understand, man. And look, at the end of the day, I think we should be supporting these kids, man. I mean, if they keep doing it or things go wrong, you know what I mean? Yeah, maybe, you know, like, that's it. You can't play football. You have to get rid of them, because you can't have them in your organisation. But it doesn't mean then you just get rid of them and you never look after them. I still think you've got a duty of care, right, to look after them for forever, man. They, you know, like, when they're out there, man, we praise them. We want them to do, you know, the best they can, man. And, you know, like, and at the end of the day, I don't want any of the kids to fall over, man. It's tough life as it is, mate. And, like, let alone with that. But anyway, yeah, good. I think everyone's pretty much all over.
Well, good luck to the kid. I mean, he's, you know,
I think hopefully he gets a support. He'll be all right. You know what I mean? Hopefully he gets a support. All right. But he definitely, I don't care. He's a current player. He definitely needs to be punished for it. Because I don't want that coming through my club. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want it. And as you said, these kids, mate, people look up to them. Kids look up to them, man. You got to be careful what they do. And if you're a club that allows that, right, man, what are you saying? What are you saying to your supporters, you know? So,
yeah.
Hold on, Rocco.
Yeah, that's right. Look, at our age, Rocco, you take a lot of drugs, but the difference is they're prescribed by our doctor. You're absolutely right, mate, just to keep alive, mate. All right, it is a interesting, any last final thoughts on that? As I said, I believe that, you know, I think this one strike policy, I think the clubs need to know more. If that's the case, I think the clubs need to know about it. On how you're supposed to help someone if that it's already too late once they move to the next strike, you know. Maybe they should nip it in the bud straight away. Maybe they need help. You know what I mean? And I know there's that doctor patient, you know, but you know, it's a different situation, man. If it means to help them out, maybe some of them are just looking for someone to help them, you know what I mean? So I don't know. What do I know? Rocco Model next reckons you need a hit, mate.
A hit of what?
Rocco lives in the social hellhole of the inner north and smells born, and he's obviously affected by sensibilities. I don't know what that means, man. Sometimes you come up with good stuff, and then the other times I think you're actually smoking bongs in the bloody bunker there as you write those comments, man. But anyway, we love you, mate. Last week you said you were going to come on. I expect you to come on, man. I want to hear you. I want to see your face. All right, another one. I just want to quickly. I saw this one today. The doctor is. All right, so I saw this one today. So apparently, What's his name? Nicky Winmar is suing the AFL for racism in the 80s, and he's joined forces with Phil Cracker, I think. And so they're going to go to court and see what happens. He's named a lot of Carlton Essendon players there, so we must have been hard on him in the 80s. We wouldn't have held back on those. So anyway, Melbourne, Essendon, Carlton, Collingwood are also involved in this. Yeah. What do you reckon about that, guys, man? What do you reckon?
How far can you take someone to court after what? 80? So what's that, like 25, 50? What's that?
Yeah,
40 years. 40 years later, you can take someone to court for discriminating. I don't know. I think it should have been handled a lot earlier than 2025 if there was a massive issue. So,
but maybe sometimes these things weren't even talked about. Like they come out. I don't know.
We've been spoken about the last 25 years, Rocco, but it's more about how far can someone take someone to court after so many years. It should be a deadline on that. So, nothing, against what Nicky's doing, but how far can you take someone to court? That's my philosophy for it. 30, 35, 40 years later. I might have done something 60 years ago. I don't know.
This is a money grab. What do you reckon?
Yeah, well, yeah, that's a little bit of that.
They're cashing in now because it's more prevalent today than it was back in the day. I mean, now we know, like, when you go out and play, if you cross that line, you're instantly going to get in trouble. Whereas back then, you could do it and you'd slide under the radar. You wouldn't get picked up. They've obviously seen we have a bit of an opportunity now to potentially cash in on this. So, yeah, let's see what happens. I don't know.
Yeah,
look,
right.
I think if it's something that has genuinely happened, that has caused after so many years, and there's genuine evidence there, and it and all of a sudden you get another 20, 30 players that step up and say, you know what, I faced this problem, etc. Then I think it's all about, as we were talking before, and we're saying about how a young player can be involved with drugs. It's about educating. It's about educating. It's about doing the right thing. It happens in all work environments. And it's all about educating your staff, educating people to be able to respect one another. Now, in this instance here, obviously something has triggered Winmar off to do what he's doing. But I hope if it's done for all the right reasons, and it's not done pure for the sake of opening up a can of worms, because I honestly believe this can open up a can of worms, and it can tarnish the game, and I don't want the game to be tarnished, because I think if it's one game in this country, well, a lot of games in this country, but if there's one game where you can have a Collingwood supporter and a Carlton supporter who can sit right next to each other and watch a game together without looking at each other's, the colour of our skin or our race, etc. It's done in this country. Because I can tell you right now, there was no way you'd get a rivalry like Collingwood and Carlton, for example, in an overseas country where two teams, it wouldn't happen. So I think we do really, really well in the way we conduct ourselves, but I just hope it's all done for the right reason.
Yeah, I mean, Scotty's asking, do you pick the rainbow lanyard at work, Manny?
Yeah.
You do, of course you do. Nah, you're probably right, and I think if anyone, the AFL actually, that's one thing they've done well. I mean, that's something I reckon that can't be accepted anymore in the game. I mean, any of that. So it was a different time those days. It was just a different time, wasn't it? And I mean, now even in the crowd, you don't hear it, you don't see it. I mean, they've done a good job with it, and I think everyone deserves the same sort of respect, But as far as him bringing them to court, I just don't know if this is going to help or what it's going to do. Is it a money grab? I mean, you're right. How far do you go before you can sue someone, especially when society was like that? I mean, everyone was doing it. No one knew any better, really. No one knew any better. So I'm sure he went through a tough time at the time, and and he stood up for himself. And I mean, after that, pretty much changed the game. He was the one who pretty much changed the game when he did that and stood up for himself. After that, it really came out and people started talking about it. So, yeah, no, that's it. All right, so very good conversation. All right, I like it. Everyone get ready because I'm going to put up the link, and I want everyone to jump on, especially all these intelligent people asking these questions, man. Geez, the brains that are coming out of this chat tonight is unbelievable. Scotty reckons it's a lot easier doing pub night at the Morwell top pub for a coin. I'll tell you what. What's this one say? Expressing your opinion is not disrespectful to others. Wokeism has been weaponized to control narratives, especially controlling young people. Maybe that's getting too deep for me, just quietly. What do you reckon? You know what I'm going to do? They get way too deep for me now. I just thought I'd have a bit of a discussion. I saw that. We're doing good. All right. You know what we're going to do? I reckon we do our tips for this week, and then I want to get into some audience questions. What do you reckon?
Yeah.
I don't know where Mark has gone, but I don't know where Mark is going. I'm just going to bring up. We're going to bring up because I've got it here, but I really can't see properly. So let me just bring up the team.
Do you want me to say the games?
No, but this is what you can. But this is what I've done, man. They're right there, mate. So they're all there for us.
Oh wow!
So we could go through them. And what we'll do is we'll quickly go through the games. Let's do the tips because we don't want to waste too much time on this. I want everyone to give you tips. Yeah. So let's start with, and then after this, me and Liam can have a bit of a chat about the Richmond Carlton game because it's between us two, but the rest we don't give a shit about. So let's do these tips here. Let's start.
We'll do it a bit like you. Right?
Richmond and Carlton. I'm going to be real quick about this. Carlton.
Yeah, Carlton for me.
Marco.
Yeah.
What's that? What are we doing, fellas?
The tips, man. They're right in front of you. Richmond Carlton.
Ooh. Carlton.
Just a bit.
And Liam, are you going to go? Are you going to stick with Richmond?
Look, as much as I want to tip with my heart, I do have to tip with my head. Carlton.
Oh, that's pretty fucking good of you. That's pretty good. All right, we got Hawthorn and Essendon. This is going to be a blockbuster.
Ooh.
Sold out already.
I'm going to go. Look, I'm going to be straight up Hawthorn, man. That's it. Hawthorn will punish you guys. Manny?
Yeah, no. I reckon Hawthorn, and I wouldn't be surprised if they get more crowd at the Hawthorn Essendon game than the Richmond Carlton.
Big.
They get a big crowd, Hawthorn.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they get a big crowd, Hawthorn. But anyway, who you picking, Mark? Well, who you picking, Liam?
I'm going to be back in Hawks in this one. They looked really good last Friday night against the Swans. I don't think they're trying up the back line to hold them.
Yeah, it's going to be tough, man. They play a great brand of footy. But what do you reckon, Marco? I'll give you a couple minutes to talk about.
Well, we're talking about the game, are we, or not?
Well, we might as well talk about your one.
Okay, all right. We'll briefly talk about it. Look, I mean, obviously it's the line in the sand game, yeah. So these two teams have had some massive rivalries, especially in the 80s and 90s. But I think just quickly our midfields are quite similar. So I think the game's going to be won in either the defense side of things or the attack side of things. So that's where the game's going to be won. I think we need to make Sicily more accountable in our forward line, so stop him from taking intercept marks. Obviously, Hawthorn have got some dangerous small forwards out there in the Wizard, Watson, and Ginnivan. So I think if we can keep them quite honest, that'll go a long way for us. But yeah, I think if Caddy and Keiko, kick 5 goals between them on Friday night, I think that's how we're going to win the game by 5 goals. So, and also just quickly, it's good to see a couple of debutants in Jackson Pryor. His father played for Essendon, Michael Pryor, so he's his first game this week, and obviously Coco will be playing his first game for the Bombers colours. So congratulations to those 2 players. So the Bombers by 5 goals for me.
I like it. And I like, mate, I was thinking exactly what Scotty was thinking. Attack or defence. That's all there is, mate. There's attack or defence, mate. That's it.
Right.
So you're probably
like I said, the midfield is quite even. So whoever defends or
for me.
Yeah. So
All
it'll be between
right,
whoever attacks strongly and defends will win this game.
all right, I like it. What about Geelong and Fremantle? I'm going to go Geelong. It's in Geelong. Is it in Geelong or is it at the
GMHBA Stadium.
Down in Geelong, yeah.
Geelong. Who else? Manny?
Geelong.
Geelong. And then we got Marco.
Yeah, Geelong.
And then we got next one is Sydney and Brisbane. This is an interesting one. I'm going to go Sydney, man. I reckon they're coming back this week. I reckon Brisbane are going to have another slow start.
Well, they haven't had a start yet.
Didn't they?
No, yeah, they missed out last week in the end.
I know. I'm saying they're going to have a slow start. What's wrong with what I said?
No, that's fair enough.
All right, good. I'm glad
you make a good point, though. I think I haven't got the stats on hand, but I think the team that's won the flag coming out the first game next season hasn't always won. I know definitely last year Collingwood didn't win their first. I think year before.
Yeah.
Who else lost?
I think they might have lost their first. Collingwood last year, they lost their first 2 or 3 games, didn't they?
We lost our first 3.
Yeah.
0 and 3.
Yeah. I think you'd think Sydney want to reverse it after that. They had a pretty shocking day out, grand final day. Yeah, I reckon the Swans might get him, you know.
All right, I like it. Manny.
Sydney.
Oh, everyone's going to Sydney. Or what's Marco going to do?
I think Brisbane will win. Yeah, Sydney got some injuries, and also they tend to say that if you get smashed in the grand final the next year, most teams struggle to make the 8. That's a bit of statistics for you if you want to have a look at that. So the team that gets smashed in the final the next year, it's very hard for them to make the 8. So Brisbane for me.
Lone Wolf again for the $5. Thank you very much, Mark. Jake Stringer said he was surprised how hard GWS trained. What does that say about Essendon?
Well, I guess Lone Wolf there that Jakey is not playing because he's done a hammy. So don't know how that happened. Hey?
They trained him hard.
Okay, then.
All right, next one. I want to keep this moving. Western Bulldogs and North. You know what? I'm going North here. I reckon North have got the Bulldogs this week.
Yeah, I'm backing you on that one. I think Bulldogs have too many big outs.
Yeah.
They're missing a lot of their top line players.
Yeah,
I think North will surprise a few people this year.
We've got a few here, like Mandy are all saying the Roos, Rat Poison Dogs. So what do you reckon there, Marco?
Look, I think North will be competitive, but I think the Bulldogs need to win this game. So Bulldogs for me, just.
Manny?
I don't know why the Bulldogs need to win this game because it's just the start of the season. There's nothing to prove, but I reckon
they've got a lot to prove, mate.
The doggies for
the dogs too. All right, and now we've got the big game, Collingwood. Anyway, their season should start this week because they didn't show up last week. Collingwood and Port Adelaide at the MCG. Well, you know what? I don't like doing this. I reckon Collingwood might win this game.
Magpies for me.
Good cause for you.
Magpies for me.
I want to back you, but you've let me down already.
They've left me down, mate. I can tell you. But can I just say that not to make any excuses because our kicking was absolutely horrendous. But
No, not to make any excuses, but you made an excuse straight away.
GWS, you got to give credit to.
We'll talk about your game in a sec. Just pick a tip now. I don't want to hear your fucking bullshit that you tried to write down all week about your shit game, right? We're talking about Collingwood and Port Adelaide. Who are you tipping?
Look, I'm saying Collingwood. We're fourth at the moment, so I say Collingwood.
All right. And why do you think that? Why do you think that they'll win?
Well, I'm thinking it's going to be our first home game. The MCG seems to be our the holy turf. It's going to be exciting because Houston is playing against his old
You
team.
thought he was playing last week.
Well, no, he didn't play last week because he had
No, but you said that he was playing. That's what you were looking forward to.
Well, I stand corrected, Rocco. It's not.
Very good.
Let's pick on Matty Yard, but no. I think it goes to show that it was a good wake-up call for Collingwood. GWS, you can't take anything away from them. I think there was a reason why their coach was coach of the year last year. He certainly is playing an exciting game of football. He actually reminds me a lot of the way the Magpies were playing a couple of years ago. But no, look, our kicking was horrendous. There was a few little injuries. We had Perriman that end up who was a halfback, end up hurting himself. Hoskin Elliott. He also there was a light injury there, and of course our superstar Dacos.
He got period pain.
Yeah, so these are early days yet, but full credit to GWS. But I think we're going to come back hard, and I think we're going to give Port Adelaide a good run.
What do you reckon there, Marco?
Is Collingwood? They're fourth on the ladder. They're fourth on the ladder, aren't they? They were saying that that is the worst fourth team percentage ever. So being in the fourth position at 50%, it's the worst ever that they've ever had. So kudos to the Collingwood.
What do you reckon? What do you reckon? We'll talk about Collingwood in a sec, but what do you reckon?
Okay, so to me, flip of the coin.
All right, go.
Sorry, Matty, flip of the coin.
That's fine, mate.
I have got heads. So it's the Collingwood Football Club.
And did you say Collingwood, Liam?
Yeah, I'll stick with him just.
Yeah. All right, we've got Adelaide and St Kilda in Adelaide. I'm going to go straight up Adelaide.
Yeah, easy. Crows. That's one of my most confident tips.
Guys?
Yeah, the Crows for me.
Manny?
Sorry, mate. I was reading a message from the Collingwood coach. Which one we're talking about?
For now, stop with your jokes. Pick a tip. I want to get through this.
So, what was the Adelaide Crows to Kilda?
Adelaide to Kilda.
Yeah, Adelaide for me, mate. Adelaide.
All right. We have got Melbourne and the Giants at the MCG. I think Giants are just going to continue on at the moment.
Yeah. I think Giants might be the team to beat this year, So I'll stick with them.
Yeah, they're definitely one of the favourites. Well, I think they could be the favourites at the moment. Marco?
Yep. To me, no, I think Melbourne will win this game.
Oh, I like it. And what about you, Manny?
Look, they gave us a good spanking, so I definitely say GWS.
And the last one, West Coast and the Suns. It's in your home ground there, Liam. It's in the West Coast there, isn't it? Yep. Is that Optus? It's a great venue. That I actually do like that venue. But I think the Suns will have them.
I have a feeling West Coast will get them. I think new first game, new coach, and also Gold Coast away from home. or outside of Gold Coast.
Yeah, you're right. They do play pretty bad away from home. But,
So I'll take West Coast in this one.
All right. Mark?
Yeah, spot on, Liam there, mate. The Suns don't play too well away from home. So West Coast for me.
And Manny?
I'm going to go for the Suns. New season, new everything. So
yeah, everyone's pretty much saying the same things here. Suns don't travel well. Eagles. The GWS have a better chance of winning the flag without the dirty dog. Gee, well, they don't like him. I would love the dirty dog at my side, just quietly. He's a star. So while we're here, we did do some tipping last week. I did get Liam's tip, and he was honest to me. So let's have a look at that. Here we go. Rocco on 2, straight up. Manny on 0 as normal. Liam on 0, starting the way Richmond will be you'll be at the bottom of the ladder for the whole year, just like Quinny was. Right? Quinny finished on the bottom for 2 years in a row, and Mark 50-50 there. He got 1 there. So there you go.
I'll always come back, mate.
And just remember, in the link below, right, everybody join the TJP tipping comp. There is a $300 prize for first prize. It's free to join. And, there's about 40 or 50. There's about 50 people there, so it's going to be a bit of fun. All right. While we're there, I want to quickly now, because it is the big rivalry match between Carlton and Richmond. I've actually got the teams up because the teams didn't come out today. The other sides, the teams haven't come out yet, but our sides come out. So I'll start off with you, Liam. You got some debutants, and tell me what you're looking forward to, and what you think will happen.
So we'll go with the 3 debutants straight away. So we'll start off with the number 1 pick, Sam Lawler. He's obviously the one we're all most excited to see. There's a little concern that he wasn't going to make it up.
Or is it Laylor? What is it?
I'm going Lawler from what I've heard. Right. I did ask that question when I first saw his name, but I've heard it pronounced Lawler, so I'm sticking with that.
Yep.
So obviously, the few weeks ago he had the concussion and he had the broken jaw in the practice match, but he's come back. I think there's an open training session Saturday or Sunday. A few fans went down and said, yep, he looks sharp, he looks ready to go. He strikes me as that sort of young kid who's going to be it's just a little setback, not going to worry me. I also want to play football. And, number 1 pick obviously comes with its own expectations, but the player that he's most likened to coming through is a Richmond legend, Dusty Martin. That's who he plays like. For an 18-year-old kid, he's a big boy. And I think that's why we picked him. There's a lot of really talented kids in this draft class coming through. A lot of good ball winners, but I think Lawler's different. He's got that ability to break lines. He can go forward and kick goals. He is going to be a really exciting watch. And like I said, just the size of him for an 18-year-old kid, I was like, man, he's a machine. Yeah, and I'm not sure where he's placed on here in the team sheet. Looks like they got him in a forward pocket. So he'll rotate through it. I expect to see him in the centre a fair bit as well. I'd like to see him there more. I think we need a bit more help there. But, he'll definitely get on the score sheet as well, we're hoping. So that's Sammy Lawler. Who else have we got? We got Harry Armstrong, who'll be down forward as well. He was another one I was happy that we picked up. So he's a key forward. That was a position that I was like, obviously, you take a couple gun mids at the top of the draft as you can, best players available. But we do need a key position player. We do need a key forward, and Harry Armstrong's a good pick. Just read this again last night. I think I'm not sure if it was the Vic Country final or the TAC Cup, but in those 2 finals, he 5 goals in one game, 4 goals in the other. So he's a big game player. Obviously, with your key forwards, they're going to take a little bit of time. So I'm not expecting him to be a superstar straight away, but really great that we've got an 18, 19-year-old kid. Get some games into him now, get some opportunity into him early. He's going to build, he's going to develop. And that's what this year is all about, getting games into these young guys, building for that next generation. And then the last one is Luke Traynor, who I'm pretty excited to see. I'm glad he got the nod for round 1. He looks like a real prospect. He's probably going to play down back. He's named on the half back line here. Can rotate forward as a swingman. believe his grandfather is Doug Wade, who was a pretty handy goal kicker back in the day, by all accounts. I can't comment. I didn't see him play, but I really love the way he goes about it. He's one of those defenders who's, he's going to put his body on the line. He goes up, he flies to the marks, and he's not afraid to go back with the flight. Pretty decent kicker to football as well. So, fingers crossed he has a good game for us. And that's our 3 new boys. So really excited to see how they get on.
I think it's always exciting for, when you get some new kids and you're going to struggle this year. And I mean, you look forward to the young kids and hopefully they develop and you see something out of them. I think that's pretty exciting for you as far as that goes. The rest of the night's going to be a disaster for you. I'll just tell you right now. So.
I mean, I can see someone saying McIntosh on Cripps. I do not think that'll be the matchup. I think McIntosh should be starting on a wing.
We'll probably
Cripps
play on
does
a
have
wing.
a tendency to do good against us, but I mean, to be fair, he's just got to walk on the ground and he'll get Brownlow votes, doesn't he?
That's it. Most Brownlow votes ever, mate.
But I mean, yeah.
Yep.
0 wins. I don't think about that. I said it before we got on. Look, I'm realistic. I know this season's going to be tough, but come on, mate. We're going to get a win. We're not going to not win a game. That's ridiculous.
Look, you'll probably get a win. It'll be very hard. Like not many. I think the last team that went winless was like Fitzroy in the 40s or something like that. It's something ridiculous, Like there's always a win out there, and you'll probably put yourself in a few games. I reckon earlier on, these young sides like you now, like they got a bit of win. They usually run out of steam halfway through the season and that, but usually earlier on you give yourself a good chance, you know what I mean? But not against us. You're done.
Look, just quickly at the end of the day, I think there's probably more pressure for Carlton than what it is.
Yeah, all right, whatever. Anyway, this is
I do believe there's more pressure on Carlton tomorrow night to win convincingly than what it is for Richmond. And it would not surprise me. I'm not going to put a bet on it, but it wouldn't surprise me if this is the upset game of the round, mate. So,
all right. I know this is Fourever rival, but you've been an idiot. But anyway, let me talk about my team.
It's going to be consistent all year round. It's going to be consistent.
What did I say before the thing? You talked about your shit drug-affected side before. I let you talk. This is my game. Right? I don't need to hear your useless waste of a time opinion about my side. You just worry about your shit side and what Hawthorn's going to do to you, right? This is my side now. Let me talk.
This is your pressure game.
Thank you very much. So I don't need to hear your rubbish, right? So the first thing is this, mate. First of all, welcome to Camperelli, mate. Great to make his debut. Same 30 years, 29 years ago. Same time, his father makes a debut. We win the flag. I also and the kick and play. The kick and play. I'm wrapped, mate. The way he started off, he's going to be a good player. And Lucas, we've still got Ben to come. Ben was supposed to be the inside midfielder. So Lucas is a bit of an outside midfielder. He did really good. He knows where to go, knows where to run, knows how to get the ball. That's the most important thing, mate. You can learn everything else. Last time, against the GWS, he had like 20-odd possessions, almost kicks a goal for a start. That was great. I also want to say congratulations. It's his third game, but I'm wrapped that Cooper Lord's in. Cooper Lord will be a star, man. He's jumping in the midfield. He's going to give Cripps a nice like chop out, mate. I love Cooper Lord and what he does, man. So well done to Cooper Lord. They also chucked in F. Evans for his first game. So that's at Port Adelaide small forward. That's because Fantasia got injured. So we give him a bit of a go. He might be our sub, I think. Might chuck him in as a sub and get him in right at the end. So I don't know what to expect from him. And then there's a few other players we'll be keeping an eye on. Sauce in the back line now, or Jack. He'll be in the back line now, so they've put him in the back line. Hollands will be also playing off the back line. Matty Cottrell done well, running through, kicking goals, so he's got a bit more of a task up front. The other one we've got to be looking forward to is Kemp. I thought Kemp did a great job, man, and the bloke can bring the ball down. So I think you're going to have a bit of a task with Harry and Kemp up there. And then the other one I'm going to be looking forward for, and I do want big things from him this year, is Motlop. Motlop's the man for me. He's got to have a big year. He was injured last year. We expect big things from him. I expect him to have a good game, and I expect Williams to kick about 5 goals on the thing. So that's going to be my pick there. So we should win quite easily against Richmond. Richmond you're too young, man. You're missing half your back line. I think you might start strong, but I think we'll overpower you by the end of it.
I understand what you mean. I'm just thinking more just this game traditionally, like it's regardless where we're at on the ladder.
Yeah, 100%.
Opening round, first game of the season, teams turn up. And I think I even went back. I mean, biggest margin in this game, like last 5 or 6 years, I think is maybe 4 goals either way.
But you've never had, I don't think any of us have ever had such a young side go out. Like, you're really young. I mean, you got 3 debutants in there. I mean, that's a lot. And you're talking about a midfielder, a forward. I mean, they're right in the guts, you know what I mean? And on top of that, I mean, you like 3 big names left last year, some pretty big names up there. And then you're missing also, he's a bolter in the back. I mean, he's going to be a big.
Bolter's out.
But in saying that, like I rate your midfield. I still reckon it's going to be a bit of a battle in the midfield and that. So, but come on, mate. If we don't beat you by 60 points, let's be serious, bro.
So sorry, guys. I just noticed on the team list there is Curno's not playing, is he? Or
no, Curno's not playing. He'll come back either against Hawthorn or things. So they give him another week, so he won't be playing.
I'm surprised to see Sam Walsh there as well.
Sam Walsh is ready. He's been training well.
I didn't know if he was going to make it.
No, he's been training well. He's been up and about. He's training well, man. So with him, Cripper and Chera, watch out for Chera. Chera's fit. He's had a good preseason, man. If Chera can get back to his 23 season, right? Because he had injuries last year, man. He came back halfway through the year, man. He couldn't get a good run at it, mate. I reckon it's going to be hard if we can play that contested ball, mate. It's going to be hard to beat us. So it's pretty simple. All right.
How much did you say, Rocco? How much did you?
I actually picked 64 points last night.
64.
Yeah. If we're not a 3-goal aside better, I'll go he. A
so
3-goal a quarter better side, I'll go he. At this time,
so you're saying that you'll beat Richmond tomorrow night by 64 points plus.
I thought that's what I said, man. I don't know how many times I got to
say. I just thought maybe you said when you
just want some clarity.
You go, what's the score? I go 64, and then you go. So you're saying that you win, but like, how else do you want me to say?
No, because you mentioned something about 3 goals, and then I tried to, sorry, I'm a bit slow.
So we've got a 3-goal quarter side, which is about 72, but I picked a 64. Is that all right? Or
it's okay. No, that's fine. I'm just putting that down.
Nah. I'd be saying 5 or 6 goals.
I just don't want to bring out no spuds next week, mate. That's all. But anyway,
I think the spuds you'll be bringing out is for.
I'm just marking this down now, Manny. I'm marking this down now, Manny. I'm just making sure that it's 64 points plus.
What did you say you're going to beat Hawthorn by?
I said 5 goals. Did you put that down?
Yeah.
I don't think your team's going to kick 5 goals.
Well, I reckon we'll beat them by a goal each quarter. So,
yeah. All right, mate. Well done. All right, listen. What I wanted to do, I actually forgot this, but I wanted to we forgot to talk about last week's game, man. I wanted to pro first, so we did get a little bit. This was supposed to be before, but anyway, there was a bit of a thumping here. Now. You can see the scores. It was 104 to 52. They absolutely got walloped. And I know I heard Manny just say before, but like we kicked a lot of points. Yeah, that's all I'm hearing. Well done. Yeah, you kicked a lot of points. Dacos got his period and fell over. They had to stop the game for it. And then I remember last week you were saying, didn't you say last week that Memory's going to be like he's a great player. The bloke was rubbish. Memory, what's he doing, mate? He is a rubbish, that bloke. oh yeah, well, it's a great pickup. And then you talk
got to
about
give it to Manny,
Perry,
mate. You got to give it to Manny, mate. They're still sitting top 4. All right, they're still sitting top 4.
Yeah.
But can I just say something? Because you know me. I'm always out and about. I got the cameras out. And last week, before I come to the show, I was there, but I got someone and he got into the GWS rooms and I actually got to see the game plan before the game, what the game plan was against Collingwood. Does everyone want to see the game plan against Collingwood?
Yes.
And we got it. And now, once you watch this, you'll understand how they just tore them apart, right? Let's everyone have a look at the game plan. They just execute that game plan perfectly last week. It was mate, it was such a good so there, Manny, you absolutely got punished. I mean, everything you said last week, you said Houston was going to play. He was suspended. He wasn't even going to play. You said Perryman was going to be a star. You said the dud at the front was going to kick goals. Well, what happened, Manny? What happened there? And wait, before you go on, I'm going to say something. After they beat Richmond in the practice match, you should have heard Manny. He had a call with me. He was going to me, oh, you got to see the Pies, mate. They look slick. Oh, they looked good, mate. You got to see them, just 19 goals. Man, you had to see it was just raining goals. It was just raining goals. How'd you go when the real fucking shit hit, Manny?
Oh, look, like I said, full credit to GWS. They had a game plan. They executed the game plan well. There was no stage throughout the whole game did I see, just for us to sit there and get some kind of game plan. Usually we try and sort of, there's just, I don't know whether it was maybe the first game, maybe there was obviously some teething problems. Our kicking was horrendous. But I'm not taking anything away from GWS, mate. And you know what? Maybe this is a good little wake-up call for the Magpies. But it didn't help when you get Hoskin Elliott injury. Dacos had an injury. Memoir, he sort of didn't have much of a good game. You're expecting big, better things. So I'm not going to make excuses.
Can I just say, you put the oldest team ever by a Collingwood team ever. And you were saying last week about it doesn't matter. It's not about age. Pendlebury looked older than fucking me, mate, out there.
Funny enough, he was one of the best on ground.
And that's a problem.
Funny enough, you sit there and you say about his age, but he was one of the best on ground. So look, I'm not going to take.
If you're talking about getting like 20 odd possessions, his best on ground, he looked slow. He wasn't getting to the ball.
No. Look, anyway, he made a couple of mistakes, but look, it's not taking anything away from GWS, but definitely a wake up call for the Magpies. Definitely a wake up call for the Magpies.
Can I ask you one thing about Dacos?
Yeah.
Is he able to play through a tag? Because he had a pretty decent first half, but once Toby Bedford put the clamps on him, I know he got the cramp or whatever it was, but I've seen him even last season when he gets tagged.
Yeah, it's a good point. I was thinking
that's something he's got to work on.
Yeah, look, I think he's one player that you'll find that not many players are able to tag him. And he's definitely one player that can dictate terms and conditions on a game. But I'm not saying, like I said, not going to take anything away from GWS.
He doesn't know. He really can't handle it.
You can't expect the team. You can't expect the team to rely on just that one player. It's a
That's
it's got
right.
to.
And
It's,
this is what
so,
I've said about your team.
so we
You're
we just didn't perform. Simple as that.
Thanks to Judd
What
for
do you
$2.99. Try answering a question this week and talk about answering a question. We have our first guest. He's a regular on the show, and let's put him on here. Here we go, Scotty Tompkins. How are you,
G'day,
mate?
Rivals.
How's things?
Yeah, fantastic, fellas. Want to say hello to you, Liam. You've done an awesome job so far.
Thank you, mate. Appreciate it.
So far.
I mean, Richmond supporters are a bunch of meth smoking junkies, but funnily enough, the two rivals that we've gotten from them have been stand-up blokes and actually know a thing or two about footy.
Yeah,
look,
you're absolutely right. You're
Really
absolutely
showing
right.
the stereotype's not true.
How we going,
Now-
Scotty? What's going on, mate? What's going on?
Well, I did have a question for Manny, but I learnt my lesson from last week that it just won't be answered no matter what, so I'll skip him. My question is for Mark, because the buzz around footy social media today has been from the Essendon Football Club, and it seems that they're already looking forward to the end of the year because they've convinced themselves that Harley Reid will be donning the sash in 2026. Do you agree with this, Mark?
Look, you know what? I think I do agree with it. I think that's why we didn't really go too hard into the draft this year. I think next year, we traded to Melbourne a high draft pick, so we're keeping that in the back pocket. Whether we finish in the low, say 12th, 13th, or 14th, we'll get another high draft pick. So we'll have two high draft picks at the end of this year, okay, and we'll trade probably a player or two, a key player, to get him over the line. So they're playing their cards right, the Bombers, mate. They know they've got an early draft pick this year, right, and they will get another early draft pick, and they'll trade another gun player at the Essendon Football Club, and they'll bring over Harley Reid. All right,
What is appealing? What about the Essendon Football Club is appealing to a player like Harley Reid?
Far out. This is like
look. Okay, look. All right, we haven't made finals, and we haven't been kind of out there the last 20 years. But I wouldn't go get too confident as a Carlton supporter as well. So look. Obviously, the drug saga has been a massive issue for the club for the last probably 10 years. And I knew for a fact it was going to take 10 years before we start to recover. And this is our time. So give us a couple of years. We're playing our cards right. We're not going too hard in the draft at the moment. We're saving our coin to bring over Harley Reid. And I think he's quite well known with Caddy and Keiko as well. So they've played some good football together. So we'll bring him across, mate. We'll bring him across, and watch out the next 2 or 3 years at the Essendon Football Club. I'm telling you right now.
I think Jay's right on it here, mate. I think that could be one of the reasons, mate.
I don't think anyone can disagree that you make a pretty good case, Mark. You're an incredible salesman.
Hey, to the people in the chat waiting in the room, I'm going to get you on in a sec. We've decided to put one at a time because it got a bit messy last week. But keep going.
Well, yeah, you got all this buzz about Caddy and being wacko for Kako, Mark. Why is it every single year that Essendon get hyped about these first-year players as if they're going to carry the club on their shoulders?
Yeah, no, that's very true there, Scotty. And it's obviously, we've had some players such as Archie Perkins and Ben Reid, Cox as well, that they've been high draft picks, and we've always said, these players are going to be guns. But they're also young players as well. So you got to give them a bit of time. So we probably put, and that's the thing with football clubs, we put too much pressure on these young kids, and what happens, with some of these players now, they're going into drugs and so forth, because we put maybe just a bit too much pressure on these young kids. So look, we probably just get a little bit too carried away, knowing that these players are going to be guns, and they probably don't live up to that expectation. But I think Caddy and Keiko will live to that. I just feel something about these two young kids, mate, and hopefully they're going to be the next generation for our team. So kudos to the Bombers and these two young kids as well.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to put too much pressure on Caddy or Kako, but they're also the key to your 5-goal win over the Premiership favourites at the moment.
Well, you honestly believe because of the way Hawthorn, produced their football halfway through last year, everyone's jumping on the bandwagon and thinking that Hawthorn's going to win the flag. Come on, guys, seriously. I mean, it's been one game of football, and they beat Sydney, okay, which was undermanned, coming off a massive smashing in the grand final, and now we're all jumping onto Hawthorn as if to say, they're going to be the next Premiership side. Nah, sorry, Scotty, mate. This Friday night will be the test for the Essendon Football Club and also Hawthorn as well.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Thank you very much, Mark.
No worries.
Thank you for answering every question.
That's okay.
Yeah,
you only had to answer one, and I would have been happy.
Yeah.
He definitely answers them. It's a lot of shit that he talks, but he definitely answers them, and I love the way he kind of he does.
Wait, Mark. If the Essendon Football Club beat Hawthorn on Friday night, are they contending or are they contenders?
I like it.
They'll be contending to obviously win the grand final, but they won't be contenders at this stage.
No. Okay.
There's a different in that wording. So is the? I'll ask you a question, Scotty. Is Carlton? Are they actually? Do you think they'll finish in the top 4 this year? Mind me asking?
Absolutely.
Okay, so you guys are pretty much would be contenders to make the grand final. Is that correct?
Yeah.
We are contenders.
Because you believe that Carlton will make top 4, yeah? Richmond are contending. We're all contending to make the grand final, but are Richmond actual contenders to make the grand final? No. Manny, are you contending, Manny, to make the grand final?
What's going on here, guys? Am I in a scene of who's on first, what's on second here? What is going on, mate? Why are you turning it on? What is going on here?
I think the best way to answer that question, Mark, is that after round 8,
round 8, yeah.
After round 8, round 9, we'll be pretty much down the. You'll know where your team is. What the team situation is there? Have you been affected by injuries? Is there any other factors that are going to? So
yeah, but the question is, will you be contenders to make the final?
I'll reserve the right to answer that question after round 9.
You should be a politician, bro, man. You are shit out, right? You are shit out.
Thank you very much, fellas.
Thanks, Scotty.
I'm heading off.
Thanks, Scotty, mate. You are, and watch out for Scotty, but you got a big surprise for us next week, I reckon, haven't you?
Yeah, I might be heading up to a certain game on Saturday night. Manny, I was actually wondering if you might be there.
You gonna be there
next Saturday?
Is that the Collingwood game?
Are you going to the footy on Saturday?
This Saturday?
Oh, for fuck's sake, mate.
No, I'm working. I'm working.
All right. See you, mate. All right, we got another one here. Let's say it's another favourite. Here we go. Everyone get ready. Zebra's into the studio.
What's going on, guys? How are we? I just want to say welcome to Liam. I think you've been great. You've already spoken more facts in. You've already spoken more facts in an hour and a half than what Manny has in the whole 2 years of the show. So that's crazy.
Love to hear it, mate.
Crazy. But I want to start off with Liam. I want to ask you a question. In terms of Richmond this year, I think everyone knows where you guys are at. You're in a rebuild. What are you wanting to see from your team going into this year and the progression? What sort of progression do you want to see from your team?
Yeah, no, it's a good question. As I've said, we're unrealistic. We're probably going to be down the bottom of the ladder. That's okay. It's like when I was speaking about those young debutants before. You know, we're building for the future. We've, you know, off season we're kind of we've lost 3-4 really good key players from our team, but we've 100%. Gone out. We got our 7 picks, 8 picks, whatever it was. That's our plan. This is the rebuild starts now. Yeah, it's gonna take a bit of time. For me, that's my goal this season. Is, you know, get games into these guys. You know, get them performing at the top level. Get them adjusted. And I think the biggest thing this season is getting players on the park. The thing that really cooked us last season was
all the ACLs.
One thing, but we were having like probably half a dozen changes every single week.
Yeah,
it's really hard to sort of implement your game plan when you can't play the same team every week.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, if we can get, you know, a consistent team like that every week, get the games into the young guys, start building the game plan, start building our identity at the club of how we want to play and what we want to be a few years down the track. And if we can see that progression this year, I'll take it as a pass for me.
That's it. I love it. I love the answer. See, that's how you answer a question, Manny.
Hey, they're loving you, mate. They're loving you, and they're loving the accent, mate. Hey, just quickly, everyone, before you go on, come on, guys, get on there, mate. I want everyone to get on there. The link's there. How easy is it, Seba? You just jump on, even just to say hello and welcome Liam.
Yeah, even just to say hello. Not good enough from some of the Carlton supporters.
Come on. They absolutely got reamed last week, and you're not getting on to give it to him. Look at his face. Look at him.
Rocco Maro, Enzo.
I know. They all talk on the thing. Hey, Black and White United. What's this about? To be fair, if you've had the success that Richmond has had, you wouldn't take a rebuild for. Of course you would. You would. Of course you would. They probably went 1 year too long but why wouldn't you? When you won 3 and you got those players, of course, man.
You're going to try at least have another tilt at it.
I've got a question, but come on, guys. The link's there. I want to see Matula, Enzo, jump on, mate. All of you, man. Get on and say hi, man.
Matula's watching maths. What's this maths all about? Moves or maths? What is it? Maths.
They're probably watching Abby Chatfield there, mate. Black holes everywhere. Hey, listen. I've got a question for Liam.
Go on then. Yep.
The coach. How long do you give him? I know he's only had a year, but are we giving him 4 or 5 years? Like, what's it? Or is it all depending on? Is he like we did it with Bolton? You know, like. He was almost a scapegoat. We got him in there to build up the young kids and the green shoots, and then we got rid of him for someone else. You know, like what do you think about it? What do you think about your coach?
Let's see how he goes this season first. As I said, a lot of our fans have bashed him from last season, which I think is pretty unfair. He's coming in a really tough time for our team. A lot of players out there, even some of the players playing, like someone like Bolton. I watched him last year. He wasn't interested in playing for us at all. And as I've mentioned, the injuries, you know, when you can't field a full team every week, you know, it's hard stuff. So, yeah, you put last year behind us, you move on. Let's see how he goes. He's got a good 2-3 seasons here now where you've got the players in, you've got your lists. Let's build with them. Let's see what you can do. If you can implement your game plan, implement your strategies, how you want to play. If it looks good and it looks like it's going somewhere, 100% keep him on. If you know it gets 2-3 years down the line and it's like, look, we're not really seeing any improvement, maybe then we look at a swap. But yeah, I'd say you give him 2-3 years around that mark, and if we're not starting to get better, then maybe we start looking.
Yeah, I do say that because you were right. They gave him a hard time last year, and that was pretty light.
Yeah, unfair. It was very unfair what he copped last year, I think, considering Dusty didn't even look half interested either.
Yeah.
Yeah, as a fan, that was the most frustrating thing to watch last 100%. Season. Because I was watching some of the players, it's like, you're not interested.
It's a completely different thing from the fans with like us and that are frustrated with Voss where Voss, we know we've got a talented list. We know how good we can be. We've shown how good we can be. We've made it to a prelim. We just we're frustrated with Voss because realistically, I don't think tactically he's got any fucking idea. But that's
I think Scotty's got a question that he wants you to ask.
Oh shit! The Brad Scott extension.
Ooh.
What are the thoughts?
Is this another
What are
question
your
for me?
thoughts? We forgot to touch on that. The Brad
I've got
Scott.
one more for Manny as well. I want to break Manny tonight again.
Look, mate, he's got an extra year on his
You'll never
contract.
be able to break me, matey.
But
You'd have to win a flag first, then you can come and talk to me.
That's right, mate.
Win a flag
buddy.
first, yeah.
Don't let him wait 30 years.
We're not living in the past anymore.
He's got an extra year on his deal. Good on him, mate. Let it go. But as for the question with Liam about Adam Uze, there was a few comments today on radio about his aura, a presence. So maybe like a Voss or a Buckley, or they got aura and they got presence when they walk into a club. So I think there was a bit of a debate today about Adam Uze not having some form of aura or presence in the club that might not get the boys to believe in him. So that was a bit of a conversation that was pretty heated today from Chad Corns as well. So what are your thoughts?
Coming from Corns, yeah, right.
I think it was.
Trust too much what he says.
Yeah, look, he talks a bit of crap too sometimes, but I think they were more concerned about which players and coaches have got some aura or presence as they walk into a club. And
Now, can I just say something? This is like a comedy act, man. Like the question was deflected onto Uze, right? I don't get it. The question was, it's simple, right? With Brad Scott, right? You've given him an extra year, haven't you? Is that what you've done?
And he's failed so far.
Why not?
Right? You haven't made finals in 2 years. So if he fails this year...
20.
21.
They haven't won a final in 20 years.
Yeah. But in his time, how long has it been? 2 or 3 years? Right? He hasn't made finals. If he misses again this year, which I guarantee you will, right? And then you've already given him another year before the season starts. Are you kidding me?
Right, making finals, going. Remember next year. Give the guy a break. You know what I mean? Like, he's trying to. Look, mate. What do you do? Say no?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like it's like you know what this he hasn't even played a game this year, and all of a sudden
he's building his culture. He's building that aura, presence. He wants that aura and the presence in the club. So give him that time. Give him the extra year.
Your club is this, man. Listen,
where I come from, folks are dumb where I come from.
You've joined the Collingwood fucking thing, mate. What is wrong with you people, mate? All right, let's hope, because if he misses finals this year, it could be a massive mistake, mate. What you're trying to say, if he misses finals again this year, will you accept that, Mark? Well, you're going to have to, but
I thought
we missed our finals last year because we lost a couple of crucial games towards the end of the year that we should have won. Okay,
that's what happens in
one of
the
them was
season,
against Gold Coast.
Keyword should have.
I know, but we could have won those 2 games, and we should have won those 2 games against Adelaide and the Gold Coast at Marvel. One was after the siren, and one was a couple of seconds before the end of the siren, and we should have got 8 points, and we didn't. So that makes a big difference. 8 points is a big difference that makes a decision whether you make the finals or not. So up until round 12, 13 last year, we were right up there top 4.
Sydney missed winning the grand final because they missed goals. Like, you lost those games because you weren't good enough, mate.
Well, obviously it comes again above the shoulders. That's what it was. It was above the shoulders. It wasn't anything else. We just felt that we just couldn't make finals, and obviously, the mind takes a lot more control. So hopefully this year it changes.
Come on, guys. Don't be
Other
scared.
than round one,
Hit the link because this is absolute rubbish I'm hearing from this bloke. Manny is an absolute.
Wait up, Rocco. I got one question for Manny. Now,
Yeah, Lee, I'm waiting for it.
About 5 minutes ago, you were spewing some complete vomit about Collingwood, and you mentioned in there that there was teething problems. What sort of teething problems can you have when the average age of your side is that of a aged care facility, and you got premiership players in there? Seriously, serious question. How can you have any teething problems?
Well,
when
look,
the players...
it is a serious question, but isn't it funny that so we go back 2 years ago that we're talking about the same players?
I'm not
Yeah.
talking about 2 years ago. I'm
Well, hang on.
Talking about 2025.
Hang on. It's you throw me a question to something that you want to hear. Let me tell you something. At the moment, Carlton's proven nothing.
Oh, he's deflecting again. He's deflecting again. No, you cannot answer a question.
You got
Manny,
Voss who's
Manny,
there.
I swear to God, if you mention another side, I will get rid of you on the show. He asked you a question about Collingwood.
You're basing it on one game.
I'm basing it on a shit club. And
I'm basing it off the one.
You're basing it on one game.
And no final
like I said before, come back to me with that question after round 8, round 9.
But Manny, you can't just deflect. You can't just deflect every question.
It's not deflecting.
Come back.
It's one game.
You are. That's what you are. You're deflecting it to round 9. I want to hear about it now. I want to hear the answers now. But
it's one game.
I want to hear that. I want to hear the answer to the question.
There's no answer. There's no answer.
What are the teething problems that you guys are having when you've got an aged care facility out there playing for you? That's what I want to know. Genuinely, just answer. And when you say I'm looking for the answer. Of course, I'm looking for the answer to the question I've asked you.
But the question you're asking, right, is not an answer I can give you after one game. Simple. Come and talk to me after round 8, round 9, and then we can discuss.
It's not one game. It's a year
game.
last year. You win the grand final. Wait, let me finish. You win the grand final 2 years ago. Last year you missed the finals, right? And the only reason you even got close was because of one player, and he just proven that when he gets his period and gets tagged, he can't handle the game. Okay. He's asked you a question about.
So we missed out on playing finals football. We missed out on playing finals football last year. We missed out on playing finals football last year. You guys didn't miss out on playing finals football last year. But all I can tell you is your call was about this size here because
was it the same football on Sunday?
Brisbane gave it to you hard. Like I
but
said,
again, you're deflecting it. You said that you had teething problems. What are they, Manny?
No,
take a leaf. Take a leaf out of Liam's handbook. He can answer a question.
Answer the fucking question, man.
Answer the question, mate.
Stop. I'm lost here. I really am.
Look at Liam. He's losing his marbles.
Listen,
sorry, Liam. I don't know what I've brought you into here.
Rocco's frozen. Look, Seba, did Collingwood play well? No, they didn't play well.
They were atrocious.
So what are you going to tell you? At the moment,
I want to know the teething problems.
Answer the question. What are the teething problems?
I think the teething problems are. I think the defense line at the moment is not. They're not gelling. All right, our kicking was pretty bad, so maybe I've used the wrong word in saying teething. But looking after the way we play against GWS, I can honestly say that was a pretty average game on our behalf. Simple.
I reckon it's a pretty average performance by you.
I'm not afraid to answer the question. The reality is it's on the scoreboard. They doubled our score. Our game plan was out the door. We had no game plan, so the reality is that right now the way we played, it's pretty average. It was a pretty average game, so very disappointed, and I'm looking forward to the game this week.
Before you go, Seba, thanks for coming on, man. You're a star, man.
Anytime.
See you tomorrow night. But
Thank you, Liam. Thank you, Liam, for joining the
But
crew as
before
well.
you
Love your
go,
work.
let's
Yeah,
just
good on you,
let's
man.
just have a bit of a message for the Collingwood.
Is the epitome of a Collingwood.
Go to Pines! Come on!
Yeah. Come on.
I'm from Maui! I'm from Maui!
Thanks, Seba, man. I'll see you
See you
tomorrow
guys.
night.
Take care.
All right, we've got another star here, mate.
Hey.
Here we go. And watch out for this bloke because he'll
Yes, sir.
fucking get you, man, if he sees you on the street. Enzo Valentino.
Oh,
Look at him.
gentlemen.
How are you, my brother?
How are you, boys? How are you? Is all right?
Good, mate. Good, good. How you going?
Good. First, welcome, like everyone else has said, to Liam. Doing a great job, mate.
Mate, appreciate it.
And for everyone else, I just got one question that always intrigues me when it comes to especially the rival clubs. So for any of you guys, my question would be if you could choose one player, just the one, from any of the other rival clubs as the missing piece for a premiership success, or as Mark would say, to be a contender, which player would it be? Mine would be Nick Dacos from Collingwood. Because I think
say that,
it's hard to say that, Rocco, but I have to admit it. We miss that speed and skill. Carlton have lacked speed for 10, 15 years. We don't really have it. But I'm intrigued in knowing with Manny, Mark, and even Liam and yourself, Rocco, if it could be one player, just the one from any of the other rival clubs, who would be that missing piece for a premiership success?
It's interesting,
But
isn't
you want
it?
me to
I think
start
I
off?
know.
Is
I
that-
think I know who Manny might choose.
Look,
Oh, yeah.
the one thing that I've always have been sad that we haven't been able to have in Collingwood is a tall, dominant forward. Yeah, that's
I thought
always
you were going to
been.
go there.
Yeah, it's like for me, it's always been a real problem. Now our small forwards, proven a couple of years ago that they were successful, but I'd love to have Curnow.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that.
Charlie would be a perfect match. Perfect match. I think the colours black and white would suit him to a T. But that's me dreaming. That would be Carlton would have to do something really, really bad for him to say, you know what, stick it up to Carlton, come to Collingwood.
I think
So
just
it's
on
wishful
a-
thinking
on
on
a-
my behalf.
Just on a serious note, I think any of our big players of any club, something bad would have to happen for them to leave
Yeah,
and go. You know what I mean? It'd be very hard. But it's a good question.
just a hindsight question. Yeah, Mark.
Oh, yeah, go to Mark.
Look, Charlie Curnow. Look, obviously Essendon have been missing, a strong, potent forward for the last few years since Matty Lord has left. But Charlie Curnow, in some ways, yes. But I think we've got a couple of other players that can take his spot now at this stage. But one player, fit and healthy, that wouldn't mind at Essendon at full forward would be probably Tom Lynch from Richmond.
Ooh, Lynchy.
Good answer. Different answer. Yeah.
Right.
At the moment,
So,
he's probably the
yeah,
only
just-
player
just
from
a vote,
Richmond
just a
that
vote.
anyone would want.
Yeah, he'd be the one we can't afford to lose.
Fit and healthy.
Yeah, I'm hoping. Who would I be taking? Oh, look, I mean, there's a few star midfielders to pick. You've said Dacos, you've got Cripps, Walsh, Zach Merritt I really like as well. I do like the Charlie Curnow pick. But I'm going to go the backman. I'm going to take Jacob Wiedering. I think he's elite. I think he's one of the best fullbacks in the competition. I'd love to have him in my side.
Interesting. Good answer, Liam.
There you go.
And Rocco's left us.
No,
Yeah,
Rocco's
Rocco's doesn't know what's going on. He's all over the shop.
and that's a great
He
question.
can't even
Your
control-
show now, Manny.
He can't even
That's
control
okay.
his shot. He can't even control his show. He's got no idea.
We could take over. Enzo, you could be Rocco from now on. You're the Carlton.
Yeah,
And,
I've got
uh,
the same. I've got the same head, I suppose.
Well, you do. You've got no
Nah,
hair,
I
but
think-
you're better looking than him, mate. He's a miserable,
Yeah.
ugly ugly-looking bastard he is, but
big shoes to fill, mate. He does awesome. So I wouldn't be able to do what he does.
No, you're right. But let me ask you a question, Enzo, because you're probably going to give me a good, fair, honest answer. Because obviously you're a Carlton supporter and you're going to speak from the heart. But it's fair to say that with 29 years of no premiership, and for Carlton that's huge. 29 years. I'm not. Do you think that if Voss takes this team to finals football, that's probably one step to progression? But you guys played finals football last year. Would it be fair to say that if you guys
and the year before too,
yeah, but if you're not playing grand final football this year, would it be fair to say that you give Voss another year and maybe say that we'll give it a second chance, or what do you say to yourself? Because I personally think with the injuries you guys had last year, probably that was one thing that affected you guys. But I also think there were some decisions that Voss was making that I think was showing a lot of unbalance in the team.
Yeah, it's hard because personally, everyone loves Voss, the player, So I expected him to be that ruthless and that, and that dominant as a coach, especially, when you got the ball going forward. But it seems that Carlton haven't gone that way. But whether these days they allow coaches to be that ruthless, like Voss will never be a Parkin or one of the old coaches from back then, because I don't think that works these days. But I have to admit, I'm a bit disappointed that he seems like too much of a nice bloke for me. And when we first got him, I thought, great, we need someone that determination, the balls. But I'm thinking of Voss, the player. Not all great players make great coaches, as you know. With Buckley was the gun. Didn't succeed at Collingwood. But I think it comes down to the players as well. But to answer your question, unfortunately, I think Voss really needs to step up, make that top 4 this year, and be a contender, Mark.
Correct.
At the end of the year, not just make the finals again. So it's a bit of a shame saying if they make the finals, it's like, a disappointing year, because I would have taken that any time a few years back. I mean, always in the bottom 4, bottom 5. But I think, a bit of a cutthroat industry at the moment. And I believe if Voss doesn't take him to the dreamland in a year or two, his job will be on the line, definitely.
Because he's now this will be his 4th year?
I think, I think it's his 4th now. So that's flown.
Yeah. Because we were talking before about Brad Scott. So was saying that Brad Scott's he's. I mean, look, I suppose the difference is that Brad Scott's come from North Melbourne, and he didn't he didn't leave a benchmark, didn't leave a really good reputation at North Melbourne, and then to sort of come over to Essendon, to me it was like, I personally think that was a huge mistake by the Essendon Football Club, because you'd rather get someone that has a little bit of a proven record. Yeah, it was a great player, but I think as a coach,
he was another one like Voss, fierce, and you'd hope that, I don't know whether it's the training or the way they are these days or just human nature at the moment, but you'd hope, like, as you said, with Brad Scott and Voss, that the players would fear him and sort of play the way he used to, like they want to prove to him. I mean, I played a bit of local footy for a while, and, I was scared of one of my coaches, but I love him to this day because he got the best out of it. But I know that times have changed. But, you're right. So, Voss and Scott, players like that, at that magnitude, how great they were, probably will never have success as coaches, unfortunately.
But would you say that would go down to because we've spoken about this over the years, that it's the board and the board that's been made up of all these different people have sort of got that the wrong approach or the wrong attitude. Like 25, 30 years ago, I reckon you'd have people who were in charge of that board that would be sort of like cutthroat. Let's go out there. We just want to win the flag.
Yeah.
Whereas now, to me, it's like Voss comes across as a really nice guy. You know what I mean? It doesn't look like he's got that, that
killing
tough element.
instinct.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But having said that, you look at McRae. McRae was amazing himself too. So,
Yeah, he was very. Yeah, he was a great player, but he coached you guys to a premiership, but he seemed very timid.
Yeah.
So some things will work, some won't. Welcome back, Rocco.
So was it, my internet just went to shit there, and I lost everything here, man. I don't know what happened, but everything was still going, was it?
Yeah,
For
of
us.
course.
Yeah. We were running a very professional 5 minutes while you were going there, Rocco.
Enzo, I've got a question for you. What is it that Carlton needs this year that's going to be different than last year for them to be contenders for the grand final?
Yeah.
What is it that you guys need to do differently this year compared to last year that's going to make you guys more reliable to get in that top 4 position? You've got the same players. You've got a couple of obviously young guns coming through in Campo Reale and
similar game plan. I get what you mean. For me, the big thing is midfielders kicking goals, running the lines, kicking goals. Because every premiership team that I know of, and I've watched a fair bit of footy like all of us would have, is their midfielders and their wingmen just would break the lines and kick those goals. So then you're not relying on Charlie to kick 12 and Harry to kick 8. It's, everyone's kicking 4 goals a game,
So you're saying your midfielders need to be kicking goals this year?
Definitely.
That's going to be the big news. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I believe. I believe Walsh, Cripps, Chera, Akers, anyone on the wing need to think, 1 goal a game even would be enough. Yeah. But our midfielders don't kick enough goals. So then we're going to rely on those big forwards.
I actually think it's more your ball use going into your forward line for your midfielders. The biggest problem that I noticed watching Carlton last year was that it's Kerno and Mackay. That's the only people you kick to.
Yeah.
You have to pick another option, because when people double team or even triple team those players, you get stuck and you're like, well, who do we kick to now? What do we do? You get a bit stuck. Because there's no problem with your midfield winning the ball. It's that decision making.
Yeah,
that's
true.
That's where I think your biggest weakness. That's what I would say you need to improve on.
It's not a bad point there, Liam. Like, I do get what you're talking about, like the kicker. But if you really look at it, right, even last year, there wasn't that many times that we just booted it to the boys. The other point is, if you've got those 2 big boys up there, like, why wouldn't you kick it there? I mean, and that's your out. You're gonna see the big boys up there. You're gonna kick it to them. I don't think that's the problem. I think it's the small forwards, roaming around, because we're getting the ball down on the ground. I think it's a team defense that is our problem. So if we can hold that ball into that 50 a bit more and get those players to work harder in the midfield, working harder, because really, who have our small forwards really been in the last couple of years?
Yeah, always, and we got rid of him.
And always, and apart from that, we've had like Motlop last year was injured, hasn't really come about. We're waiting for him this year. We've had they've added these players, Fantasia. You got someone like Fogarty, who's one of the best, pressure players, but he doesn't kick enough goals, So,
right.
You get those small forwards up at their feet and you'll see a big difference. So to me, and Paul said this a couple of weeks ago on our show, it's about team defense. If we can work harder with that team defense and we're not talking about just your back 6. We're talking about
the whole team,
ground, mate. The whole ground team defense will make a big difference. But everyone's making good points there. I mean, You've definitely got to lift. If Carlton wants to get next level, we've got to improve somewhere. You know, if Essendon want to make the 8, they've got to improve somewhere. If Collingwood want to now go back to, they've got to improve somewhere from where they got last year. Because really, Collingwood's going downhill. They're getting old. In a couple of years, I predict that they'll be where Richmond is, and Richmond will surpass them. There's too many old players, Mark, for Richmond. You look at Collingwood. How many old players? All those players are going in 1 or 2 years.
Yeah, they are hanging on to a few.
I think if Collingwood get to Richmond's level now, that for them to recover, I reckon it'll be a lot longer because Richmond have won 3 flags.
It might be a lot longer.
If Collingwood gets to that level, yeah, but
they're giving away all their draft picks. They did it with Houston now. They're giving away their draft picks, and they've picked up a back pocket. They've got no first rounds next year.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying it'll take them a lot longer to recover. Going down the ladder.
Sounds like we're doing favours for Essendon and for Carlton.
You don't do us any favours, man. First of all, you don't even go to games. You're not doing
you guys favours because as long as we're not doing well, that brings happiness to you guys because your teams aren't doing that well. So it brings you guys happiness.
We're doing better than you in the last 2 years.
You must be. What do you? What's that, Yoda? What is he smoking? He wants to know what you're smoking.
Look, we keep talking, Manny. Manny, you won a grand final 2 years. You've sold your soul and given away all your fucking draft picks, right?
2 in 11 years.
Last year, you didn't make the fucking finals, right? This year, already in your first game, you got reamed like you were at Gotham City Brothel, right? And now you want to sit there and you want to talk about other sides.
Yeah, two. Yeah. There's definitely two premierships in 11 years.
It doesn't matter, but that was 2 years ago.
Matter.
No,
it does matter.
We're talking about moving forward, Manny. You keep going back.
Enzo, if Carlton had won a flag,
try to get Enzo onto your side, because it's
no. Enzo, you know what? Enzo's very, very logical.
The only player that you've got is a Dacos, right? And when he gets his period, he can't handle the pressure.
You're talking over me.
I'll talk over it all day, and I'll take you off. You know that. You know that. You know that.
Enzo would grab it in a heartbeat if he knew that if he had won a flag 3 years ago, even 4 years ago, it'd be a different emotion. But it's not that you're not realizing.
Are we still talking about the past? Are we?
We're talking about the fact that it's look. You know what? I hadn't seen a premiership for 32 years.
Name your back 6, Manny. Don't talk to me if you can name your back 6.
Listen, 32 years I didn't see a premiership.
It took 31 years to catch up to us. It took you 31 years, right? Name your back 6, or else I'm taking you off. Name your back 6.
Why do you have to be so hard on me?
Without lowering your eyes, take your back 6.
I'll tell you my back 6.
Yeah, did your son hand you over a piece of paper again?
No, not at all.
Enzo, you got any other questions, Enzo?
No, I actually surprised you guys gave me questions. I thought I was going to come on to give you questions. I appreciate your time. Nice to see you guys.
Thank you very much,
buddy.
I hope you enjoyed.
It's a pleasure to speak to a gentleman. Enzo, pleasure to speak to a true gentleman.
What would you know about
Thanks, Manny.
Hey, thanks, Enzo, and we'll see you soon.
No worries. Take care. See you, boys.
See you tomorrow.
Ciao, Bello. Ciao. Ciao, Bombers.
All right, we're going to give everyone one last chance to jump on. I'll put the thing in there. We'll go another 5. If someone, wait. No, we haven't. No, we haven't. So we'll wait if someone wants to jump on.
What about Lana, Jason, and Frank, and Robert Galecchio, and what about these guys? Peter Kahn.
Giving me a bit of a Steve Austin flashback. Well, we had to get Liam into the show here. I think we've been a bit quiet there for a while. We did all right.
You know what? You've done really well today, Liam. It's your first show, and you've done really, really, really well, matey.
I appreciate it, fellas.
You definitely know you know your stuff, and the only thing that you haven't got going for you at the moment is your team, because look, as you said, they're rebuilding, but you should be proud of them because they've done really, really well over the last 5 years, and it's you can sit there and you can brag, unlike the other two who can't do nothing. So
yeah, look, that is true. We do have some success in recent times, so
yeah.
Not everyone here can share that.
Not for anything, Liam, mate. We are going to give it to you, unfortunately, all year, mate. It does not matter. We're not going to give you, the handover, mate. So this is an opportunity to give it to the Richmond Football Club as much as we fucking can, mate. So
you wait till you play. Well, you wait till the Bombers play the Tigers, then you can have bragging rights, Mark.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. We'll be the ones under pressure. We'll be the ones under the pressure.
Let's see a couple of names first, then you can come back.
Mark, if you think that you want to be a contender or contending, and you are seriously worried about a team like Richmond, North Melbourne, West Coast, then you're not a contender. If you're a contender, you shouldn't be worried about these sides. Yeah, they might give you a little bit of a run, but you're saying that, like you said before, right, that you'll be clearly in the A in the last round. And so by saying that, and then you're saying you're going to be under pressure with Richmond, like Richmond, without being disrespectful, they're rebuilding. They've started from, like, they got seven. Was it seven? Like
every team that plays against Richmond will be the ones under pressure because Richmond have got nothing else to play for anymore.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
They got a free run tomorrow night, mate. Richmond have got a free run, mate. They're not going to care if they lose. If anything, Carlton are the ones that got the pressure.
If you're saying you are look at this, mate. We've got someone. If you're saying, right, that you're a contender, you seriously can't be worried about these sides.
Yeah.
If you're a serious contender. Anyway, listen, we asked for him, and we might have someone to help Manny here. Here we go. Black and White United. How are you, brother?
What's happening, boys? How are we?
How are we, mate? How's things?
Yeah, pretty good. Thanks for letting me jump on. I appreciate it.
Nah, mate, we love having everyone on, mate. This is called Fourever Rivals.
Yeah, I know. I've been watching your show now for quite a while. It's actually a very entertaining, very biased Carlton show, which I love. It was actually.
Well, that's why we want you blokes to jump on, mate.
Well, listen, it was actually, and all shits and giggles aside, it was actually one of the reasons why I started my own YouTube channel, because I saw what you guys were doing, and it was a little bit of inspo, but frustrating. But obviously, I wanted to get the Collingwood side of it, which is going well at the moment. But Jesus Christ, some of the stuff. Sorry, Black and White.
Did you think if these dumbasses can do it, I can do it too? Is that what you were thinking?
Your setup's a bit better than mine. I'm still getting into it. I've only got the 600 subscribers at the moment, but I'm getting there slowly. But fuck, you guys are giving it to Manny. Fucking something vicious. Like you're saying the Pies are old, this, that. You can't base it off one game though. Like in all seriousness, like we had one really shit game, like against GWS, and we weren't the only ones cramping up against them too. Like Lockie Whitfield for them, he couldn't walk it after at 3/4 time too. You know, so I don't know if the same shit happens this week against Port Adelaide, then you can say, okay, there's a pattern here, right? Maybe teething problems wasn't the right word for Manny to use, but the team didn't gel properly together. They didn't have any sort of connection. But with that being said, Will Pepperingham, we dominated half the game. We just couldn't score. So, you know, it's just it shit happens. But back on the G, I reckon we'll take Port pretty easily. But it's just as long as there's a bit more fight, there's a bit more desire. The only thing I'm worried about, though, with Collingwood is that, we win the flag 2 years ago and the desire's not there. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like when Richmond won the flag. They just fucking kept going, you know?
Yeah.
Hey, listen, can I just say, even Seba likes you, right? He's Collingwood, but I like this guy already now. I just quietly we might have to swap the Collingwood person if you keep talking sense like that. If you keep talking sense like that,
I'm the biggest nuffy going around, but sometimes
we all are.
that makes sense. So
we all are. We all are.
I do look like bottom. I'm standing under the light too, so it's fucking not good. My fucking head's shining.
I'm telling you, mate, you are side bottom, fucking for sure, mate. That is definitely that. Now, look, you make a good point, but you still, to me, mate, you might have only been one game, but I'm telling you, you're old, mate, and if you don't get through this year, I mean, you're really going to put yourself under pressure, and you've sold your number one draft, like your first round draft pick. So, and look, to me, that's the way to rebuild. You get those young kids in there, you build within. You got some good young kids, but far out, man. If you don't do anything,
we won't bottom out though. We're not like a St Kilda or a North Melbourne where we're going to bottom out completely. Well, our bottom out is we'll finish mid-table. Like 2021 was a write-off. There was off-field dramas in the club anyway, but that helped us catapult up. We restructured and we just went straight. But we won't do that again. We've got everything that we need, right?
Losing those, losing side bottom and I mean you and Pendlebury and you got. You got a few of them there. Yeah, you got Al. You got a few that again. So once you lose them, you think you've got enough depth underneath that to come through on a serious note?
On a serious note, 110%. But the thing is,
really,
but we're not going to lose them all in one hit. Like we're not going to lose 7 or 8 players. Now we're not going to lose side bottom Howe, Mason Cox, Jamie Elliott, Will Hoskin-Elliott, and these players all in one season. If we somehow won the flag this season, then yeah, all right, they'll probably all go. But it's not. I don't think it'll happen this season. But we're not going to lose all of them in one hit, because then you're taking the whole leadership off the group. Richmond lost all their leaders, and
a couple of big ones.
Look, if we lost
Pendlebury
and Howe, I reckon we've got Houston to replace another backman. We've got TJ and Jacob Ryan coming through that can take a spot there. Reef's trying to get a go in there at centre half back. So you've got players that can manage. They're not A-grade superstars, but you never know. They've got to have that opportunity to actually play for thing. But and I said before in the chat, when you guys were saying about who's the one player from another club that you'd choose from the rivals to join, for me personally, it's not like Charlie Curnow or stuff like that for you guys. For me to put into the Collingwood side now that would complete us 100% is Jacob Wiedering. Like you put Wiedering in our back.
I was thinking that for you guys, actually. I was thinking that for you guys because Wiedering just settles the back line. You get that one big general at the back, and he would definitely be a player. I didn't get to answer that. I would there's no one at Essendon. There is no one at Essendon that I would take by far. Richmond, I did want from Richmond, but he's already gone. I wanted the little shy Bolton there, mate. I reckon he would have been perfect for us right now, So if it was from Collingwood, of course everyone's going to say Dacos, but we need a small forward. I would take your little bloody what's his name?
Hill. Yeah. Bobby Hill. Yeah, and especially after you guys lost someone like Owies, you need to replace those 30 goals, and Bobby Hill kicked 30 goals for us last season.
100%.
So he's someone that would be good for you. But Collingwood's backline, it's just, I think it'll be okay now with Josh and Houston on the half back line, and I think this week we're going to see it. I'm not going to ride too much on Houston's performance this week because they're going to target him. It's his first game at the club against his old club and stuff like that. So you got to give it a week's reprieve and stuff. The Bulldogs game the week after is the big one because it's their celebration game, and every club fucking loves making money off us. We're just the AFL's bank, so they'll celebrate against us, and then we'll pump them by 10 goals, and then they can piss off.
If you win your next two, and then you got the big one, it's going to be the big block. Is it a Friday night?
Thursday night.
Thursday night.
But I've got an RDO on the Friday, so I'm going to simplify.
I'm telling you, I am hanging for that game, mate. Hey, Manny.
Yeah.
He's one of you guys, man.
That's right.
Talk to him. Say something.
Well, first and foremost, welcome to the show, and it's like we person with plenty of wisdom and knowledge, but it's what Rocco said before that what are we going to do over the next 2-3 years, and we've got these all these geriatrics, and I think to myself, in 30 years, how many young players have come through Carlton, and you guys have done peanuts? Same thing with Essendon. Because I can sit here and say, Rocco, that in the last 11 years, at least I've had 2 premierships. For me, that's satisfaction. I don't know about.
But I understand that. And first of all, Seb, thanks for $2.99, and he's right. Show your face more like this guy. That's it, man. Like, first of all, black and white.
Thanks,
mate.
Black and White United.
It's great that you came on. First of all, look, we had to get black and white to get any sort of reasoning in there. All you do is you deflect. You deflect back to Essendon. You deflect. We're talking about, like, I didn't hear black and white say one thing about the past. He talked all about what he's looking forward to the future, and he gave a good response. Mate,
I'll give you one thing. Hey, I'll give you one thing about Colin, because I got to go because the little ones, I think, woke it up. But I think the one thing that we're going to do in the future is we're not going to bottom out. And with now access to the drafts, now you've got 2 drafts to access. If we don't use all of our picks, we'll bundle them up with the retirements that we've got and the salary cap space. We'll follow the Geelong model. We'll pick up some players. We'll find some gems. We're not going to bottom out, and we'll just catapult up. We are, and this might sound selfish, this might sound fucking arrogant or whatever, but it should be the same for Carlton and Essendon and Richmond, but we are too big of a club to fucking bottom out. We are too big of a club, right, to be shit down the bottom. We're not St Kilda, we're not North Melbourne, and neither are you guys. Richmond will have their time now, but they've had their success, so they can get a bit of a pardon. But all of us, we're too big of a club to be down the bottom. So harden the fuck up and get around it and go the fucking Pies, boys.
Hey, thanks. I disagree with you. I think he's a shit, but fucking thanks for coming on, man. You're a legend,
Cheers,
mate. And make sure you get on, and especially before the Carlton Collingwood game, I want you on the screen, mate, so we can have a real debate. And by then,
I've already set the alerts on. Don't stress. It's all good.
That's it. Thanks, brother, man. You're a champion.
Thank you. Cheers, boys. See ya. Bye.
Mate, everyone seems to be looking at taking our jobs at the moment.
Yeah. I'm telling you, mate, and it's only going to get worse, mate. It's only going to get worse. That was good, man. See? So, we're getting some oppositions out there, and that's what I mean, and that's what we got to do, man. He was good. It was good, man. It's good to get other people, get some questions out there, and it's good, man. Tonight's been good, man. We've had some people come on. It's been good. I've really enjoyed tonight. I think we might be getting to an end here. What do you reckon, guys?
Hey, did I tell you about the bloke that got shipwrecked?
No. Oh, that's right. This Manny's joke. All right, let's go.
So anyway, this bloke ended up being shipwrecked, and apart from himself and his dog, there was also a pig that survived on the island. So anyway, long story short, 6 months on, the old fella there, he was getting a bit towy, so he tried to give it to the pig. Anyway, the dog ready to attack the fella. So anyway, he sort of backed off, and then about a month later, he tried to give it to the pig. The dog anyway, I thought, you know what? Fuck that. I'm not going to sit there and get bitten by the dog just to try and shag the pig. Anyway, about a year later, on the other side of the island, there was this beautiful blonde that was walking towards him. She was also shipwrecked. And, as soon as she saw him, she said, "Oh, fantastic. It's good to see another person." Gave him a massive hug. And he said, "Oh, look, I'm really happy to see you. Can you do me a big, big favor?" And she said, "Anything." He said, "Can you take the dog for a walk?"
Oh, boy.
I bet you that was a Collingwood supporter. Far out.
He probably was.
He was shipwrecked that long, mate. That's not too bad. So you're going to bring back a joke of the week, are you?
Well, look, I think I might sort of do an instantaneous, sort of like every now and then, just to break it up a bit. How's that?
I like it.
We'll keep it going.
I like it. All right, guys, it has been good. It's going to be a big week. I'm actually pumped for tomorrow night just to go walk to the G, man. I can't wait, man. Like, I really can't wait to walk. You know, you get off the train and then you walk and the lights are on and then you could smell it and you just walk it towards the G. I can't wait, man. Like, I'm really pumped. So it's going to be good there. So, and that's it. Thanks for everyone. Make sure you like and subscribe. Don't be tired.
Come on.
Yeah. Thanks, Liam, man. You've been a star, man. You did a great job on your first one. There was a little bit of like punching on there by us and that. Don't worry, you're going to get yours soon, mate. You'll get. I think we like it. No, you did good, man. You did real good, man. We appreciate you, and I hope you enjoyed it, man. And I hope you come back next week.
100%. See you then. Get around it, lad.
Thanks for everyone for joining us. Remember, like, subscribe, share. And we'll see you next week, lad. Before we go, let me find my tune that I've got to say goodbye to. All right, here we go. All right, we ready? How do we finish this off? Go, the boys!
Bye.